Welcome to CathyDSlaught's SRC4u Zoom call for July 7th, 2022. We're here on Cathy's website, CathyDSlaght.com. To access the SRC4u Zoom call, which is a demonstration of the SRC4u software, scroll down and look for this banner. If you'd like to be part of the SRC4u demonstration call, which is called her client group, or join her daily energy clearing group, the information's here to register. If you'd like to know what Cathy's daily posts are, or did you miss the Zoom call, the information will be posted on her Twitter account. Or you can scroll up under the archives, and here is her blog list, which will take you over to everything she has ever posted and every Zoom call she has ever had. And if there is something attached with the post, like the July startup scan, it will be posted underneath that post. We're going to return to her website, scroll down, and we're going to look for the Zoom call where we're going to enter. Now the call is going to be loud when you enter, so you may want to lower the volume on your speakers. One moment, please.
I wanted you to see that we are still running from yesterday. We did a pretty powerful group session yesterday, and I'm back to getting those posts up. So if you look at if you're curious, go to the CathyDSlaght. You'll see the last few posts and then the screencasts that go with them. But there's a very powerful command we have, and this is removal of media systems. And this is not talking about obviously taking them off the air and the internet. This is talking about any negative interference that comes in with them. And you should have this. Kevin's got it loaded. And the other thing Kevin now has is the Meridian cocktails. And Kevin, I couldn't quite figure out how to email that little folder you made for us. So if you have a moment after, maybe connect. Okay. But otherwise, if you get in touch with Kevin, you'll have the new Meridian cocktails, because as you go, now we've already done this, so we won't go down again. But if you see any stress related to a Meridian, just go in here and test, do you need a scan as well? And if you need a scan and a cocktail, just either load the cocktail or go into your find options and break it down that way. But it's all in. We're trying to make this as simple as possible, because these upgrades, you really could get away with just hitting your wonders. But don't hesitate to do that. But since that's really what it's designed for, but since it's my full-time work, I'm going to do more. Now what's interesting, let me just put our Zoom up. We have a couple of new things that I just want to share with you. I found this prayer of protection, and we actually resonate with having it in our startup scan. And again, we don't need to do the startup scan today because we're already running from yesterday. We can see, let's just see if we have a priority of adding this today. Okay, yeah, we do. So let's go ahead and add it. I did go ahead and add this one too. So if you talk to Kevin, I'll have to get with him and give it to him probably, but it is in here. Well, it was in there. The protection prayer. Labeled it a little differently. And then we also look for some pro tools today. I'm sure the recharger, the field generator, and the Reiki. I'll do the field generator scan a little later, although we can test a few things that, I've got by heart because they're pretty good. But anyway, let's just do that right now. Golden mesh is always good. And that looks pretty good. That's a high number. We might do that. Let's look at the armor of God. Nope. And then Psalm 91. Well, look at that, 98. So let's just go ahead for now. And a lot of these are loaded in. This is an interesting day. I'm going to share this with you. I actually tested earlier to see if it was appropriate, and it was. I have friends that keep me posted on some of the astrological things. I'm not one to get into that. And today there is apparently some kind of a portal that is open. And in the group, we have been working with mind control. We're going into also our subject this month is our independence. And how can you have free will if you actually have signals coming to the brain that interfere with your own thought process? Whether or not we're having that, we don't know, but we do know that technology is available. For example, there is technology that can put overlays on things you're listening to on the internet, things you're listening to on TV. It's out there. Whether it's used or not, again, I can't tell you. But regardless, I do have a list, and I'm going to show you this list, and then if anybody wants it, I'm happy to share it. But as I do this different reading, I've been making a list of anything that could interfere with brain signals. And if you read, I have a post talking about for true independence. Imagine you were a brain. And the point being, the brain has absolutely no sense organs. It's operating totally on electrical signals. And then that information is sent to the body, the senses, and all. So if anything like ordinary stress comes along and interferes with that, we're not pulling in, perhaps, the information we need. So I just started making a list. Meridian stress, EMFs, chemtrails, vaccines, harmful toxins. This one comes up all the time right here. Heavy metal all the time comes up. And I've got some different abuses. Family history of trauma, which we unfortunately can imprint. Little electromagnetic. And then I did add some more devious things as I read and studied. And this is something we probably need to be aware of. I don't want to just include the whole list in our normal mailings because it's not for everybody, but if you do want it, I'm happy to send it to you. Just shoot me an email and let me know. The point is, to me anyway, we want awareness, but we don't want to focus on it because then we imprint with it. That's my opinion anyway. We don't want to make it a big deal, but we are aware as you read and as you learn that some of this stuff is out there. And all you really need to do is just go in here. And we've done all of this already, but let's just try to do this one regardless if we're still running or not. Neutralize all negative brain signals. But yeah, I was talking with someone this morning who has shingles, and all she's doing is reading about shingles. I said, you've got to stop. Don't quit that. You're imprinting with it. It's going to make it worse. You've got your information. Now let it go. And that's the same as far as I'm concerned anyway with all of this. So you see, we resonate very nicely. We don't really need that scan. But I do have it if anybody else is interested. You might have a particular troubling case with someone or something like that. The other thing is we're requesting the Reiki today. And I went in and I just put brain. And we asked for this power symbol. I want to make sure everybody knows the wealth of information in this, these chakra panels, etc., in the Reiki. I want to just show you all you've got. Well, is it going to come up for me? Here we go. Maybe not.
Looks like you got a Reiki one up down there, Cathy. It says 0.
I already do, yeah, but I wanted to show you everything else available, and I thought that might be easiest to pull up a fresh one. But see, it's not. This Pro Tools does this once in a while. My computer is suffering from old age. I need to give it some stem cell. Yeah, it'll have to wait a little bit. It's tired today. But anyway, if you're looking at this, it's powerful, and probably all of us should be doing a little more of the Reiki, which each session, for example, it seals energy, the energy you're working with. This is great. It says for the closing of a healing session, you can draw it in the air, or I think I've said this many times, a friend of mine who is a very powerful Reiki practitioner was really impressed with this program. Increase divine healing frequencies in a room, so you can send this to your home, therapy room, or whatever way. But yeah, I really do want to quickly go through, if it will cooperate with me. Okay, all right. Here we go. And so you see, first you start with your symbols, and all the information is here. You could even make a special protocol. I don't know that you need to with this. Your information's already here. You start with your symbols. Then you've got some meditations. And you've got some special techniques. Aura clearing techniques. Some hand positions for self-treatment. For others, look at all the information in here. Tuning forks. Crystal bowls. And those crystal bowls are pretty expensive. If we could duplicate energetically, just like we're sending emails instead of snail mails, maybe this could be just as good. There's the Tibetan bowls. So this is amazing, this program. So with that, I just wanted to close that now. And that's not all we want. So what I put in was just the brain and this power symbol. We're taking 6 hours. And as I said, this is a portal today, so that we want to make sure we're extra clear. I like that we have the Psalm 91 for the length of time we have it. Any other thoughts with any of this? I want to see if it's time to okay, no, we're not ready yet. for the heavy metal cocktails. We've already, let me just, yesterday as a group we didn't resonate with the mind control cocktails that are in place. But we did resonate with the media. Look at that. Now today we're ready for that. So let me show you where these are. And you've got clearing mind control and a couple of basics. For the highest good, electromagnetic mind control. For the highest good, that's what that FPHG is, for the highest good. So let's see. Let's just see. No, we really don't resonate totally with any of these. We may need to juice it up a little bit. Let's start with this. Actually,
Yeah, it went off again.
what?
I'm sorry, I didn't know I was on mute.
Oh, okay.
One of our smoke alarms is going off. We can't figure out which one.
Mine went off too the other day, that's too weird of a story for me to even tell you what I was doing on the SRC, and the smoke alarm went off. No fire, no nothing. Now let me show you what you can do. That mind control cocktail through the premium wasn't a real big benefit, but in the supercharger it seems to be. So let's go in here. And this, we have to do our part to work with this. For example, if you're watching a lot of TV or sitting glued to the internet, you're probably going to have some programming that's not going to benefit you. And the technology is definitely there. The CIA has had it for a long time. But whether or not it's being used, we can't prove. But some interesting things seem to be happening. Come on. Do it one more time. That's pretty close. Let me just see. You can overdo it, I think. Okay, so let's do 2 hours. But also have some awareness of some of the things. One of the things I mentioned in the post yesterday is they're using Elmo to promote the children's vaccines. Poor old Elmo. And so keep in mind some of the very dark programming that is in our children's stories. And there's some good programming too. It's not all bad. It can go either extreme. But there is some very negative dark, not just in the stories, but in the cartoons, definitely in the video games. Jared, do you remember the subway guy that later got caught up in all kinds of terrible things, pedophilia, etc.? That had been his childhood. He watched the video games with all his junk food next to him, and so he had to be totally programmed. And he got up to in his 400s as far as pounds, and then stumbled on that subway. But it's my guess, based on what he himself talked about, the limitless hours in front of the computer playing those games, there had to be some programming. It's the way it works. So, only last thing, we've got what have we got? Oh, good, 10 more minutes. Is anybody in here doing any work with photographs? Photographs of clients?
My daughter's doing the vision board, and I'm doing the frequency code numbers, and the pictures manifest faster than the frequency code numbers, just FYI.
Well, there's an interesting YouTube out about a piece of technology called the scalar wave technology. But interestingly enough, the website, then it goes ... and it says SRC. Now he's showing a picture of the technology in the YouTube, but and it certainly isn't an SRC, but he's working with pictures. People send him their picture, and he's doing all kinds of things. Of course, we can easily add pictures to our SRC, and I'm thinking, why can't we do the same thing? And I did find we want scalar. And Kevin, I'd love your opinion on this. But okay, there may not be. I may not have that note in here, but there is a code for scalar energy, and I'm wondering why you couldn't put a person's picture and then put in scalar energy, and then what he's doing is actually taking the image of the pathogen. Say it's Epstein-Barr. He's taking the image and having some pretty remarkable results. Kevin, have you ever worked like that?
Yes, there's energetic fields that are captured and should be used from the photograph.
So, but how would you combine it, for example, if you wanted to clear, let's say someone had shingles, and you had a picture of that pathogen, which you can get images online very easily. How would you proceed? What would you do?
Create a cocktail with that image in it.
And you would just specify, you don't want to send him the pathogen, you want to clear it, so how would you handle that?
Well, it's the information that's in there.
Okay, so you don't have to make a big deal of clearing?
No, the computer should understand, or the program should understand.
That makes it easier.
What you're trying to do, and if you've got, your cocktail is nullify the stress of pathogen XYZ, that's a good guide.
Yeah, I called 3 people yesterday that are having some real serious situations, and they all sent me their picture. And I'm going to make every attempt to work this in. That's the thing. For me, with the SRC, you can duplicate about anything.
I'll load their picture in the name box. It says image.
Yes. Yeah, it's perfect. And then perhaps in the options box, put scalar wave in that code, and then the image of whatever the problem is. And this guy's even getting groups in pictures. And that's one of my dreams for this kind of work, is that all of us, no matter where we are, could have our own energy group. So it's kind of exciting to think about that.
So just to clarify, do you mind?
No.
Kevin, you said, let's say the shingles. because we have a lady that has shingles. So get a picture of shingles, and then when you're making it into a cocktail, just say, eliminate the shingle virus, and then that's all you have to do?
Well, the usual approach is, if you have a Western pathogen, the way that the Western mind works with it, you'd say neutralize the stress caused by pathogen XYZ.
Okay.
But then put the image in as well, which you can pretty much pull up online, a lot of images. In his case, I guess they had done the live blood cell and they had pictures. But we could look online. You can get about any image you need.
Pulling an image offline as opposed to, saying, somebody taking a picture, not of themselves, but of whatever the area is, which would be more effective, or are they both effective?
What do you think, Kevin?
How's it?
Work, but it's more specific to an individual than you use it for that individual. It captures their energetic fields.
Yeah, I would think, it's pretty difficult for most of us to get an actual picture, let's say, of the Epstein-Barr virus. So I would just go online, Google it, get an image, and put it in. And that might be something we can really experiment with. I'm going to here on my end. Now, I don't want to show any pictures of the people that, sent me their pictures. That would be an invasion of their privacy. Maybe I'll take my horrendous picture and put it in and use it as a demo. Or if anybody wants to be brave and email me their picture, we can do it. But there's some promise to this.
This concludes the SRC4u Zoom call. Thank you for participating. We look forward to seeing you again. Till then, take care and be well. YouTube disclaimer: this is for entertainment and educational purposes only.